We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
Gotta break through!
Leave the chargers!
Where are you going?
Be still! Point flash!
Lunar production! Lunar
Smite with blackened blade!
This is gonna need all of us together! Into the shadows!
Our arcs are being interrupted. Exploit the enemy's weakness.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Eternal devastation!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Rising weapon! Wide open!
It won't escape me.
There you go! Don't let us
Freezing Didon!
Air thrust!
Execution!
Ice tornado! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Illuminate the dawn!
This one's mine!
Holy land! A chain between heaven and
You're
earth!
mine! I'm not done!
Demon now!
Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too!
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renasalma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrecht 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
Out of our way!
Dance in the wind!
Can't get out of this!
Be still!
Don't mind if I do!
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray!
They look cute and stuff, but they're vicious! One more time!
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
A chain between heaven and
Do it!
Sia!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
Hold nothing
Still more
back!
to
Leave
go!
the enemy's arch to me!
You're mine!
No complaints here!
You're mine!
In here!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Demon Lash! This one's mine!
Sleep now!
Do it!
Save
Light burst forth!
Radiant Denizen! Searing flame!
I'll face you!
Prepare
to be sealed!
In here! Searing
Negative
flame!
gate! They smite with blackened blade!
Tornado!
Execution!
Armor won't save you!
Now!
Masterful dash!
Finish with astral energy!
Say no more!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. Discourteous, aren't you?
You picked the wrong fight!
I'll face you!
Not in your dreams!
Here I come!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Now it's a duel of the hour! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
You
Ready! Gemini
Great
Does
Alpha!
it hurt?
Sleep now!
We got flyers!
I've got
Lunar
this!
Storm!
Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Face me!
Awaken and
Do it!
masterful dash!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen! In your
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Now! Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material. Hey, new equipment!
be a delicious piece of cake.
Eat dirt!
Everlasting dust!
Soaring blood!
That'll bring you down.
Eternal devastation!
Eagle ray!
Nice work!
The flashing part's their weak point.
Spirits within the
Blah,
soil.
blah, blah,
A
blah.
I can carve through on the ground! Masterful
Chain
dash!
between heaven and earth. You get
You're
the gist.
mine! The
Masterful
field
dash!
Blah, blah,
be
blah.
let free!
Air
Masterful dash.
Blah, blah, blah. Divine
No
savior.
further! Orochi's fury!
Healing. It looks like you got this one covered.
Sorry to trouble you.
You do the same for me.
Double demon!
Get this water.
Leave the chargers to me.
Dance in the wind.
Power
Vader trace.
No
A
escape!
chain between heaven and earth. Divine savior. You get
Megasonic
the
block!
gist. Now,
No dawn shall break this night.
Soaring blast! In an instant! Impact block!
Step back! This one's all law!
Coming through.
You picked the wrong fight!
Instant.
Tempest!
Raging storm.
Raging Luna Storm!
Tunnel.
Rising Wyvern!
It can hide itself? Negative
Amazing!
Spirits within the soil. Awaken and
Alpha!
save you!
Lightning.
Masterful dash!
Let the marksman handle this.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Soaring blast!
Crush! Eternal devastation! I'll burn it all! Ah! Flaming pillar! Fire!
Here, let me help.
Try this!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Turret!
Glacial spear. In here. Here's the evil.
Nothing will hold me back. Can you take it?
I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
I owe you one. You picked the wrong fight!
Searing flame.
Everlasting dust! Soaring blast!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alphen. Very bad.
I don't feel so good. They smite with
Where are
dragon
you
blade!
going? Call upon me.
Take this! Execution!
Bestow
thy mystic mercy. Very circle!
Sorry. Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Now.
Alphen!
In an instant! Impact block! We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner. Discourteous, aren't you?
Not today!
I can handle it.
Rising Wyvern!
Chain between heaven
Eagle
and earth.
ray!
Lunar
Raging Luna Storm!
Sleep now.
Raging Luna Storm!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Now sounds like a job for you. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go. Supernova.
Soaring
Banana,
blast!
let's go.
Demon Land!
Now,
Eagle ray!
We're in good form!
out of our way. All disasters at
I'll take you all
No
on!
further!
You're mine!
By the power of
Everlasting
love.
dust!
It'll
Soaring
rise
blast!
next week.
Reflect on thy sins.
Sleep
They
now.
smite with dragon blade!
Yours to be let free!
Firmament render.
Execution!
Spirits
within the soil. Awaken and wreak havoc!
Dance in the wind.
Masterful dash!
An astral charge that
That
could
might
easily
be
be
too
fatal.
much damage.
Just as well,
shut 'em
I'm
down.
here to stop it.
Not just like now.
I can't imagine what we do without you, Linhao.
Who, me? That's a little much, don't you think?
I'm serious. You're a lifesaver.
Magical dash. Holy land. Did you get the gist? Divide. Here,
Show thy mystic mercy!
I'm in your debt, Dorothy. Then tonight's meal is on you.
Everlasting dust! Eagle ray!
Take this!
Unique. Celestial Hammer! I'll heal you all!
You're mine!
Demon
Flame
Blast.
in sight!
With
You're
darkness.
soaring
With
blast!
blast.
Try this!
What would I by the power of flame? Photon
I have no limits!
Air
This should do it!
A chain between
Raging Luna Storm! Blow away!
Blah blah blah. Air burning strike. Photon blast.
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and not today!
Just what the doctor ordered.
Swallow that!
Reflect the blast in.
Holy land.
They smite with blackened blade!
This one's mine.
Execution! I'm gonna need more
Here's a
heroes.
healing
Within the
orb.
soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Holy land.
Merciful death!
Such unadulterated fury.
Execution!
Illuminate the dark.
Merciful death!
Far enough.
Negative gate! Negative gate! You picked the wrong fight!
Here's a healing arc.
Merciful death!
Made one. Not in your
shot.
dreams.
Merciful death! Execution!
No more playing nice. Radiant love here. There you
No
go.
further.
Don't let up.
Swallow blade!
Here.
Double
let me help.
demon blast.
Now. Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
We'll do it.
Law! Say! Blow them away!
That'll teach us for getting cocky. We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
This'll be a delicious piece of cake.
Rising
Soaring blast!
Annihilation.
No dawn shall break this
Your
night.
to be let free! I'll take you all on!
Raging
Negative
generation.
gate!
Spirits within the soil. More people?
Keep calm and take them down.
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Xion, astral energy. Full throttle. A flawless reinforcement.
Think again! I'll face you!
Nothing gets by
I
me!
never miss.
You're mine!
Rising
Soaring blast!
Soaring right
No
do it.
dawn shall break Xion!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Four of them?
Can't be This one's mine.
Tempest!
Do
Demon
it.
blast!
Lightning condense.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. More
Crumble.
incoming.
Begin!
Lightning
You're mine!
This one's mine!
Eagle Ray! Raging Luna Storm!
More?
In here.
Rising Wyvern!
They smite with
Radiant
blackened
fire.
glare!
Astral arts?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Burning strike. Lightning orb.
Merciful death!
Red. It's showtime.
Negative gate!
Freeze Lancer. You made quick work of them.
I have plenty of tricks up my sleeve, young lady.
I can see them sometimes. Not much longer to go.
Come on, one
Negative
final
gate.
push!
Let's do this together, Alphen.
Can you take it? You're mine!
You get the gist. Sealed. Arc sealed.
Tempest!
Blah, blah, blah.
Rising Wyvern!
Soaring
All
blast!
day.
You're on, more!
By the power of faith.
Soaring blast!
Now.
How anticlimactic.
In your face!
This will come in handy. Blah,
Does it
blah,
hurt?
blah, magic.
Raging Luna Storm!
Burning strike. Saving this
Rising Wyvern!
Freeze Lancer!
To everlasting darkness.
Negative
All
gate!
disasters
Temp
made
it.
one! Blah, blah, blah.
Can you take it?
Too much to handle! Corruption!
Rising Wyvern!
Rain down and purify all!
Soaring blast!
Hurricane Thrust!
I'm in your...
Meteor storm!
All in order.
A chain between heaven and earth!
Begin.
Magic is annihilate your dreams! By the
So you
power of
clamor
flame,
for my true
vanish
power?
without a trace!
Take this!
Soaring
Illuminate the
blast!
dark! Magic
Everlasting
is
dust!
Holy
Eagle
Lord!
ray!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Raging
Burn
lunar
now!
storm! Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic fission!
More?
Glacial
In your
spear!
face.
Pierce evil!
Rising Wyvern!
Freeze
Eagle
Lancer!
ray!
This one's mine!
Oh, violent guardian!
Raging lunar storm! Spirits
You're
within the
mine!
soil! Awaken and wreak havoc! Another incantation ruined!
Rising Wyvern!
Your astral arts are truly incredible.
Every
Be
little bit
careful not
helps.
to overdo it. Indeed, it does. I'll keep pushing to be better as well.
Raging lunar storm!
More for the stockpile!
Negative gate! They
Hold
fight
on
with
to your
flying
arms!
blade!
Here I come!
Mine.
Execution!
Whoa!
Masterful
Hey,
dash!
higher!
Rising Wyvern! Not today!
Now!
Masterful dash!
Laser ray! I'm all stuck up in trouble! Magic is in! Sleep none shall escape my judgment!
Soaring blast!
Devastation!
No dawn
Rising
shall
Sun!
break this night!
Vanquish darkness!
Soaring blast!
These bad guys really don't mess around.
Whoa, this is amazing.
You always get excited when you find something good.
We should hurry and get this stuff processed.
Right, here goes!
Far beyond the
Be
darkest
still!
sky!
Soaring Rising Falcon!
Everlasting
Pierce
dust!
evil! Freeze
You're
Lancer!
mine!
Those flying
Raging
creatures are a
lunar
real
storm!
pain in the butt!
Crush! Demon Fang!
Lunar corruption!
Exploit the enemy's weakness!
Annihilation!
Soaring blast!
Got it! Now's our chance!
Dragon Form! Burn in hell!
Blah, 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 magic!
Eagle ray!
Holy Land!
Spirits within us, thou art for being interrupted.
You're mine!
Divine!
Bestow thy mystic
Healing
mercy.
circle!
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Soaring blast!
Do better.
No dawn shall break this night.
This one's mine!
Eagle ray! Reflect on thy sins. They smite with blackened blade.
Magic is in! Freeze Lancer! There!
Execution!
Air thrust!
It's on! Finish it!
Outlet!
In an instant!
Impact cross!
This could be useful. Eagle Ray!
Burning strike!
Glacier
Field! Here's the evil!
Be careful, everyone! This one isn't normal!
Nail strike!
Eat dirt!
Flying freaks!
Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Raging Luna Storm!
The wailing banshee of what's five
Take
Too much
it!
to handle?
Does it hurt?
Now! Kizara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Oh, violence
Miss.
starting. Blah, blah,
I'll
blah.
fix it! Dragon Force!
Blade! Who wants to
Raging
win?
Luna
That's my
Storm!
cue!
Finish it! Shut him down! Negative gate! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix
Cyclone!
Dance in the
Think
wind!
again!
Eat
I'll
dirt.
face you.
Air thrust. Mega ray!
Soaring
Do it!
blast!
Blah, blah, blah.
Say! Blow them away!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Hi, Hoodle! This one's mine! Thunderblade!
Rising Viper!
Deathball! Holy Land!
Soaring
Requires
Blast!
complete focus! Deathball!
Roasted
I'll
Fury!
heal you all! Swallow
Sonic
you.
Thrust!
Healing circle!
It got fired!
I've got
The
this!
enemy will. Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Certainly not.
Not in your dreams! By the power of flame!
Raging Luna Storm!
Up and out! Let's go! Now! Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Crumble! Swallow
I'll
Blade!
face you.
Can't get out of this!
I'm out of ammo!
Soaring Blast! Dragon Form! The flame inside is
I
yours
never
to be
got
let
it.
free!
Now's our
Eagle
chance!
Ray! I'm not done! I'll smash you!
Divine Streak!
Our arts are being interrupted.
Spirits within the soil! Awaken and reconnect! This one's mine!
Freeze Master! Blah, blah, blah.
Masterful Dash! Reflect on my skin! They smite with blackened flame! You're mine!
Let me help.
No escape!
Arnex,
You
come
can't
through.
let loose! Try this!
There.
Negative take this!
Maelstrom.
Negative gate! It's go time!
Now.
Raging Luna's Alphen! In an instant! Impact Block!
We managed to pull through.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just... This goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't give a damn why they're here. We'll burn it all to the ground.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's great spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn.
This one's mine!
Radiant Pierce!
Soaring Black! Demon Land!
Corruption! Divine! I'm all stuffed up! I'll shoot them out of the sky!
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Now you see what I can knock it into next week!
Lightning! Downfall!
Masterful dash!
Spirits within the soil! Awaken and wreak havoc! Dragon
Masterful dash!
This one's mine!
Reflect on my fate. They smite with black and gray!
Pierce evil!
Execution! This
Raging
one's
Cascade
mine!
Breeze Lancer!
Reflect on thy
It looks like
sins.
you got
They
this one.
smite with black and gray! Execution!
I'm all stuffed up!
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Laser Edge! Annihilation! Divine!
Finish it!
Strike!
Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
I won't forgive you!
Right now!
Seal!
Can't get out of this!
House
Raging Lunar Storm!
Careful! It has some kind of camouflage!
Everlasting darkness! Negative gate!
Sorry,
But this fight ends here! Go faster!
Now, Asuna!
Right! It looks like you got this one covered.
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and recovered! Water line, energy!
Merciful death!
Raging Cascade!
They smash the blackened blade!
Raging Cascade! Let them
Thanks, Shield.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Soaring blast! Rising
Shadow!
You're mine!
A wailing Pantheon!
Keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! To be steel. Double demon fang! Soaring blast!
I don't even know the word defeat. Here, too much to handle? Magic is there!
Spirits within the soil.
You get
Awaken and
this.
wreak havoc! Masterful dash!
Photon, raging Cascade! Do it!
Goodwill!
Demons descend!
Flashing fang!
Don't get careless.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Not today! Soaring blast!
Lightning orb!
Mirage!
Dragon Ray! Where are you going? Now!
Be
Pesky
still!
airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Soaring blast! Demon blast! Rising Reflect on thy sins! They smite
Do
with
it!
blackened blade!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this. Sorry, but this fight ends here. Just go faster.
Now, Asuna!
Right! I'll heal you all!
Plasma shock!
Healing
Lunar
swirl!
Raging Luna!
Sorry, Sakami.
You do the same for me. Searing
That helps.
flame! Reload! Damn it! Watch and bleed! Raging storm!
Ignite! Raging Luna Storm! Wind!
Raging cascade!
Mirage!
Magic is there!
Soaring blast!
Cyclone!
Devastation!
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
I'll heal you all! Lightning condemned!
Double demon fang!
Leave the enemy's art to me!
Masterful
No complaints here!
Your mom! Finish it!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Gotta break through! You picked the wrong fight! Soaring blast!
No dawn shall break this
You're
night.
mine! Wind!
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Will this help?
Take this!
Master, I can carve through armor!
Seal!
Thanks.
Broken locust away!
Here I come!
Masterful dash!
I need to pull myself
Negative
together.
get far enough!
A banana!
Awaken and
Poison! Freeze
Masterful
Lancer.
dash.
Burning Thrust! Air thrust!
Execution!
You get the gist!
Rising one! This one's mine!
Sleep now!
Execution!
Get right there with the others!
Masterful dash!
Orochi Fury!
Execution!
Where are you going?
Sonic
There
Thrust!
you go! Don't let up! Don't mind if I do. Excited.
Masterful dash!
I'm all set.
Can't get out of...
It's go time!
Magic Lancer.
Execution!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Will this help?
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Retreat here. Blah, blah, blah.
Fairy circle!
You must be tired of killing me.
I'm merely doing what I can.
Glad you're on up.
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! I'll thank you! Swallow! Rising light!
Such unadulterated skill.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
I'll thank you!
Certainly not.
Raging Luna Storm!
Here you enter.
Adversity is said to be the best motivation.
Savior. By the power of
Fairy circle!
Thank you, Dohalim.
I only did what any other would.
I think you're nicer than you let on.
Eagle ray!
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken! Take this! Masterful dash! Reflect on thy sin! I can carve through armor!
Now, Mega Ray.
Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Come one, come all!
Lightning
Soaring blast.
Raging Cascade. I never miss.
Mirage! Stand!
Steel.
Reflect on thy
Demon
sin!
Blade.
They smite with blackened blade!
Instant. In here.
Execution!
By the power of water.
Negative gate!
By the power of
Awaken and
flame.
wreak
Radiant
havoc!
without
Private
truth.
Phoenix!
Let's go.
Masterful dash!
Explosion. Don't mind if I do.
Awaken and wreak havoc! Masterful dash!
as always.
Raging Luna Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
A merry
Do
distraction.
it. There's still more. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
So, fire and earth astral energy, huh?
Get lost.
Burn!
Raging
Raging Luna! Take this!
Magic is there. Air throw.
Negative gate!
Spirits within the soil.
Awaken and wreak havoc!
Annihilation.
Masterful dash! Oroshi's Fury!
Into the shadows.
Honor won't save you!
No more playing nice. Here's a healing art.
Do it!
Here goes.
Demon Lash! Soaring blast!
Steel.
You're mine!
Let's get you all tucked away.
Radiant
Here's
Fire!
my call.
Eternal devastation!
It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. Searing flame. Reload.
Eagle ray! Begin! Rising Margaret!
An astral artist?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Raging Luna Storm! Take this! Amazing! I'm not done! Negative gate!
Air thrust.
Blew away! Finish it!
I need
This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
This calls for a celebratory drink.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's Great Spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own emanating from them.
If it's that insignificant, is there that much point getting rid of it?